Cheers.
Cheers, Steph. Welcome to our happy hour where we discuss all of the most wonderful topics in the world of golf. And today, we're going to be talking about rules violations. Yay! 2010 was absolutely full of them. First up, let's talk Julie Inkster, disqualified from an LPGA tournament because she was swinging a weighted device on her club during a half-hour delay. A viewer saw what was happening and actually called it in, and she was later disqualified. Stephanie, what do you think about that?
And she was in contention.
I
think it's silly that you can allow viewers to call in, because if someone's leading or in contention, they're going to get more TV time, whereas, you know, whatever other person out there could be doing the same thing, but then they're not called out. And I know she shouldn't have been doing that in the first place, and she should have known that was against the rules, but you can't let viewers call in. That's just unfair to the field, I think.
Yeah, I feel like it's kind of like she had a weighted device on her club during a delay.
Well, that's also why it's ridiculous.
A viewer called in, you know, so... Well, Julie Inkster's situation was actually pretty mellow when compared to PGA Tour player Jim Furyk. Jim disqualified from a FedEx Cup event for being late to his Pro-Am time. Not missing his Pro-Am time, but being late. I think it was under 5 minutes, actually.
Yeah, I think he got there about 5 minutes late, and they sent alternate Mark Leishman out there to play with his group, which I'm sure his group was thrilled by. Thought they were going to get Jim Furyk, but they got Mark Leishman. Not that he's not a great guy, but anyway. So basically, I think it's stupid. To DQ a guy, you can't disqualify a guy for something that applies to only part of the field. It's only the top percentage of players, like top 25, top 30% of players that play in these Pro-Ams, right? So if it doesn't apply to the full field, how can it affect the result? It should be a $25,000 fine. No one is going to miss their tee time if you're fined $25,000. And for Jim Furyk, I mean, this was like a once-in-a-lifetime thing. That's also what made it funny, was that of all the people, you know, who slept through their Pro-Am time or overslept, is Jim Furyk.
It's an absolutely bogus ruling. Has nothing to do with anything on the golf course. An event before the actual tournament begins. We all felt sorry for Jim at that moment.
It is important, though. Because,
well, of course.
Yeah, because the sponsors make, you know, that's why the guys have jobs, and the guys need to be aware, and the interaction's important, right?
Well, that's why I definitely agree with what you said. Fine them, don't disqualify them. Now, moving on, a more serious breach. Dustin Johnson hitting out of what he thought was not a bunker, grounding his club at the PGA Championship, and subsequently getting knocked out of the playoff. That was tough.
Yeah, that hurt. Watching him erase his score and change the 5 to the 7, that was tough.
That was not pretty.
You know, I think it all comes down to, we all know it was his fault, and you know, ultimately it was his responsibility. He should have known. But I just don't think it should have happened in the first place, that whole situation. It was like a perfect storm of shit that happened. So it was an unfortunate situation, and that just shouldn't have to happen. It was so many things, and I'm not going to go into it. But
a lot's been said on that topic already, but what we do want to close with is Ian Poulter. Ian Poulter attempting to mark his ball, dropping his ball on his quarter, the mark moving, being penalized. That, to me, is just another example of the rules of golf that just are a little bit outdated. They need to be updated. They need to get rid of that. It's not really fair.
Right. I mean, he lost $150,000 because he was clumsy, which I guess he shouldn't have been clumsy, but it doesn't give him a competitive advantage. You know, just replace it.
It's happened to me before.
I think everyone's been there.
Several times.
You know, it happens.
You drop your ball on your quarter. That's what happens.
So there are a lot of rules of golf that don't make sense.
2010 was an unforgettable year as far as rules breakages go. So what rules do you think will be broken this year? Let us know in the comments below.